In this session of our discussion, we're gonna focus the chapter about leadership in project. We will be continuing the discussion that how it is important to lead a project um, with the leadership qualities. Leadership is basically the professed desire and commitment to serve others by subordinating personal interests to the needs of those being led through effectively demonstrating the character, experience, humility, wisdom, and judgment necessary to create the trust as well as to influence in any kind of project management leadership to cause the right things and to happen for the right reason at the right time. So this is important that how the project manager perform his or her assigned task as a project leader with the leadership, right leadership qualities and skills. So we'll discuss about leadership in projects. When we ask the question with a brief statement, what exactly we mean by leadership in project, we can read between the lines in this short definition that project leaders manage the team dynamics throughout the project. They basically ensure the focus of the team on project deliverables. This means leaders in project are responsible for getting the expectations for their team members as they are responsible to set the direction for team during project execution or all project work. So leadership in project encompasses a wide range of activities including effective planning, task coordination, overseeing project, inspiring team members, and making decision vital to setting up a plan of action for project implementation. Leader or project managers basically they oversee projects and make critical decisions that can lead to their own success, their team success, and broadly speaking, to the success of the project. Communication is one of their backbone for the success. They're effective with coordination, calibration, and they're sharing, having a vision with honesty, having planning with flexibility and decision making are some of the key skills the project manager he or she possessing the skills which are good to meet the needs and expectations, to meet the expectation of the stakeholders, and again look after the project team. So a project team leader basically is looking to, even if it's in the current climate, working in virtually online, how to effectively communicate, calibrate, and coordinate. This is important because we are calibrating now through virtual mode of delivery sometime. So leaders need to adopt their style and approach to the needs of the team and the work that needs to be accomplished. This is sometimes called, because we have different styles and types of leadership. We have a situational leadership, which is molding and having the flexibility with the capability to establish the right vision and direction to influence and align others toward a common purpose and to empower at the same time and inspire people to achieve set goal and objective to lead them toward success. So is it leadership or something else? So we have to think a lack of leadership can be a cause of number of problems: confusion, lack of innovation, high turnover, loss of talent and resources, unethical behavior, gorilla syndrome, lack of alignment with companies' visions can be some of the key challenges causing because of lack of leadership, and that leads the project toward failure. the program, and even the portfolio will be leading toward a disaster. So we basically we ask this question: why leadership is important? Is it leadership or something else? Because we cannot live and we cannot grow without having the right direction. So as a project leader or the top executive to lead any task or an organization or any particular project, you become a leader as a project manager. Maybe it's a temporary endeavor, is a temporary organization. The project become itself as a part of organization, though it may be for short term. Again, depend on the size and complexity of the project. So what exactly project manager needs to do? He or she needs to lead a group of people, transfer a conflict system into cooperative one, resolve conflicts, facilitate stages of team formation, have the ability to motivate other people and the team, give the right feedback on the right time, and master the art of forming a message, and again have the active listening skills as a leader, and have coaching and mentoring skills when you are leading a project particularly. So for example, the Project Management Institute, they believe that the successful project managers are managers who practice both strong management skill and effective leadership skill at the same time. So leadership skills are not the same as management skills. So strong management skills can be gained through experience and practice. Leadership skills can be learned, and leadership qualities can be developed with the time. So effective leaders develop new leadership skills to complement those that made them successful as project manager. They are innovative, they become to seek challenges, they think long term, they motivate and inspire others, they worry about doing the right things and how things can be done right, have a wide circle of influence. So they're not just manager, they become more like leaders. And that's why we say, why project leaders? The reason is because they want to be not merely as a manager to do administration and follow instructions and have a limited influence, and they are worried about doing things right. Rather, they're not just follow the instructions, because they are worried about doing the right thing at the first place. That's more important. And they are more innovative. They're not just doing administration. They are thinking long term, not just short term. That's why we believe that the project manager role is quite challenging. Project manager need to be influential, to lead others, and we can see the number of important responsibilities for the technical driver of the project includes all this important during different phases of the project, from initiation till closing. And project manager are also responsible for leadership and business driver of the project, for communication, leadership, managing effectiveness, and again gaining the commitment and trying the project to lead toward strategic success. So that's quite important. You can see the responsibilities coming under the responsibility of a project manager as a leader. So when we look into the governance, this is basically when the project management or project team have to deliver the project with the right mechanism in place, the methodology, so how things will work. You can see this graphical illustration, though it is quite funny but very helpful to get a lesson from it. So when you are leading as a leader, you basically need to have the effective communication. What is left to the other is maybe not left to your, and the right, when somebody says left, he means left to him or left to you. And then again, you have to go the other way when people are giving you instruction. So there are different people coming with different perspective, with different mindset. So the leader has to come up with a vision, with a strategy to lead other, delegate any decision making others can take with the right skills they have. Ensure decision making is seen as a responsibility, not as a privilege in your dream. So ensure the expectations are clear, especially for the millennials and the new team members. They have just joined, and you have to be a good mentor to lead and provide the right to facilitate, rather, to provide all the important facilities, and ensure, and the assurance is again very important to meet the expectations, and that need to be very precise and clear without any kind of a gray area or doubt. So the more it is precise and clear, it gives a clear ground for everyone, particularly the new one they join the team within any project, when you think about the right structure to be in place for the project governance. The framework for decision making, and we need to ask these questions as a project team, project manager with leadership. Do we have enough information at the first place? Is it enough? Did I assess the potential risks that's associated with taking certain decision? That's very important to analyze and evaluate. And this is again the question we have to ask. Did I run it by some of my colleague and genuinely listen to their feedback? Rather, it has to be done as a collective approach, and then we need to do it together as a team rather as an individual bureaucratic approach. And then, have I evaluated all options to see the best solution for any problem? And am I making this decision because it is convenient to make it just it is easy to do it and avoid any challenges, or what if I decided otherwise? So we need to see, if we make a decision, then we have to be accountable for that decision, because at one end, when we are doing governance, as to empower the project professionals or delegate the authorities and give the responsibilities to everyone, deploying and assigning the resources, then at the same time we have to make the right decision. And then of course when you are making decision, then you have to be accountable and you have to be responsible or answerable. To build accountability before work on the project even begins, it is important to not only be clear on task and who they are assigned to, but also the context of how the overall project ties to larger team goal. Accountability also means there should be check-ins to assess progress and performance. So we need to drive transparency and accountability in the team. We please do not entertain the blame game, which is going to be a disaster to the project. Promote lesson learned of any mistakes, and then we can do better next time and not repeat the same mistake. Do not let diplomacy turn into the faceless accountability. That's very, very important for the leader to lead any project. So when we do self-evaluation, this is one of the key tool which is important in self-evaluation, which is we apply as a procedure to systematically observe, analyze, and value our own professional action, and it results in order to stabilize or rather improve the skills and capabilities. This can take place on any individual or any kind of project. The self-evaluation means that the individual, the team members, they explore and evaluate their own professional work. I ensure the role and responsibilities are clear in my team. That's very important for self-evaluation. So you do the review for the performance. My team members understand the ownership and its implication whenever you're going to be delegating the authority. So you have to make give the ownership to individual, and they own it. And the decision making structure in team need to be always clear and precise for the project with smart objective. We have an iterative process to improve accountability in any kind of organization or within any project. The purpose of the evaluation process is to highlight strength, correct performance weaknesses, and develop unused skills and abilities. In order to do this, we must be willing to recognize the areas that need improvement, and also to do a better development. This is more like the SWOT analysis model we can apply on any individual. So we are doing for transparency in any project management is the culture of open communication and visibility within project team. So we need to see, and this is the question we have to ask, the articulation of the values, is it clearly defined? Is the team clear on what you never negotiate? For example, safety cannot compromised. They understand the team member what is recommended, for example, and they understand what is tolerated, and they also understand what is not tolerated as the culture of any project. So you have to take along with the project team to lead. It means creating a system in which all team members can assess all relevant information about a project easily and efficiently, and you trust the employee to make decision. You don't keep responsibility and job function as sacred. There's no secrecy. Share the result. You have open culture for skill and knowledge sharing. You know where to get the right information, hiring the right people for the right job at the right time, and then establishing the open communication channel is quite the backbone for this success to keep it more transparent. So meeting management, we need to be agile, and that need to have certain rules to set. Of course, we have to understand that what is exactly the meeting of management that we are setting any agenda for making that what is good for managing any kind of team meeting. For example, do we observe team dynamics? What does it tell you? That's more important to understand from your discussion. Is there a general feeling of satisfaction for something being complicated? So what is the set objective that we have to achieve from meeting? Is there any agenda being set? Is there any already minutes of the meeting already taken, and from the previous meeting? Is there any accountability, any review, any progress? Ownership is clearly defined, or the task is clearly assigned? And then we look into the sharing of capabilities and knowledge management. Knowledge management, we know, is the process of creating, sharing, using, and managing the knowledge as well as the information of any particular tasks within any project. It refers to the multidisciplinary approach to achieve the set objective of the project by making the best use of that knowledge. So knowledge will give you the edge to be more powerful and have more capabilities, making development that when you make the development one of the deliverables or key milestone of your project and the benefits of your program or project. So knowledge does not walk on the street of Beirut. This is a good saying, that you cannot just find knowledge when you are walking somewhere. It is a complete process, that how you share and you can gain the knowledge and transfer the knowledge. So implement a culture, we call it open knowledge culture, for coaching and mentoring. So it is a continuous process, and knowledge is again coming in both in the tacit form and implicit form and explicit form. So we are not going in detail, but knowledge is basically valuable form, or the valuable form of the information, which is the more organized, or you can say when the information is in action, it becomes knowledge, and how we can make the right decision based on the experience and the right information in place. So knowledge management is basically the realm of it is the more important core that we are thinking, that knowledge management is basically a kingdom or the empire or the realm of the project management, and that necessitates the programmatic methodological approach that bring together individuals, procedures, tools, techniques, the undeniable, we can say, the knowledge to gratify the project managers or the project team or the project leaders requirement for the right information to be in hand at the right time for the for any right decision. So failure and disappointment in management can happen when we are dealing within the project, and that can be, we know that disappointment is inevitable. It is a part of life. But in project, how the project can lead toward failure, it can, one of the key reason of the project failure is lack of the leadership, and we don't have the vision for the project to lead, and that can be quite a disappointment overall. How to deal if there is a failure or disappointment, how we can then manage it. This is one of the leadership skills and capabilities to manage the time when there is huge disappointment and people are quite pessimistic and they're quite down. So how you can up the morale and give them new energy, and then you can lead to ensure that there's a good relationship that may end despite of our best efforts to save the people in a very tough situation. So we are looking that it's up to you whether the short-term disappointment turn into an opportunity for challenge or a lifelong commitment to self-pity. We need to ensure that how it works in real life, we accept the disappointment that happened to everyone or anyone. It can happen to you, to myself, to anyone. It can be helpful sometime to start by normalizing the situation instead of sitting in a state of indefinitely in sorrow. Once you have allowed yourself to acknowledge that you are in a good company, start the process of reframing, getting the reaffirmation and then reassurance, change the way we have done it before, learn the lesson from it and make a fresh start with making a new plan. That is more important for any project success. So project success and failure, what exactly we mean by project success and failure, it's quite a debatable discussion, but what make a project success, what make a project a failed project? We need to think as a project team or a project leader. Project needs to achieve its set objective. That's more important, and then we can take our discussion toward the project success or the project failure. Is project success means what is the factor that we measure the project is successful? So what is the success factor for any project? Is it to complete in time, or complete within budget, or within scope, or it is the project that is delivered the end benefit to the end beneficiaries? So we have to see what are the key performance indicator, what lead the project towards success or what lead the project toward failure. So overview of the project success and failure is basically we look despite the significant development of project management principles in recent year, according to Coleman's 2004 statement that the project failure are becoming more and more apparent and more common now. When we have recent, if we have heard this recently from anywhere about successful project which was delivered on time, on budget, or it would have met the specification of the project, would that be a success story or failure? There is a vast amount of evidences that large IT projects indeed tend to fail. However, the extent of failure is debated among academics and the practitioner. And you can see there's the references you can see here from the Fledberg and the Bozer 2011 and the Olgate and Thompson 2013. We see that the project failure is becoming a discussion or project success to overview when the project is completed. According to the PMI, What determines a success or failure of a project? What practices lead to consistently better or more competitive results? And what factor cause capital projects to fail? Project fail can be defined as a project that fails to perform a duty or an expectation actions, non-occurrence or non-performance. That is according to PMI. Whereas project success can be defined as the achievement of something desired, planned, or attempted. It is also said that success is an event that accomplishes its intended purpose. So we say, why a project fail then? Project failure, well, most projects commonly fail because there is lack of attention and efforts being applied to number of project performance factor. For example, focus on the project value to the business. It is not given the proper align to the set objective of the or strategic objective of the organization. So the IT projects that seem to fail in both the private and public sector. However, failure in public IT project appear to be more spectacular due to the size, visibility in media, and political consequences at the same time. It is estimated that around 20 to 30% of projects are total failure and abandoned, while 30 to 60% fail, according to the Dost and Cell 2016 publication, that they say the time and cost overrun, or this can be a combination of both, it become the part of the problem. So that is where we have to think, is the estimation of the project failure, if it is up to 30% or it's more than 30%, is it all because the project is overrun or over budget? And that can be a combination of the problem. According to the project report published by the Standish Group Report 2014, it is believed that 31.1% of the IT application development projects are cancelled before they ever get completed. I mean, this is staggering. 53% of the IT development project costs 189% over their original estimated budget. So that's quite a serious statistics that we are getting from different surveys, and there are many causes of the project failure, and every failed project will have its own set of issues. Sometimes it is single trigger event, or sometimes it can be a combination. Only 1/3 of the projects are completed on time and on budget. Again, this is the survey carried out by the Standish Group in 2014. The reason for the project failure can be lack of clear goals and scope and objective, poor resource allocation, poor project management, poor leadership, little to or no interest from key stakeholders, or poor communication. There can be number of other reasons the project is failed. Project criteria for failure or success, we can see according to the APM Group, Association of Project Management. They believe that the project failure or the criteria for the project success or failure can be one of the most important factor can be the lack of planning. So if there's a proper planning, because the 6 P's of planning, proper planning prevent poor project performance. So lack of planning can be one of the cause for failure. Poor user input, lack of senior management support, poor definition of scope, unrealistic time scales, lack of the resources, there's inadequate resources, incomplete or changing requirements. That's going to be a disaster for the project. Lack of project leadership and communication skills, and lack of project competency, poor stakeholder management, and so many other causes can be the reason for project failure. So food for thought, can a success be measured? And if yes, what purpose does it serve? The measurement of progress, cost, and quality is no doubt an essential part of the project control, but this activity should certainly not be confused with measuring success, according to Dewitt 1988. When attempting to measure success, one must make a distinction between project success and the success of the project management effort, as the two, although related, may be very different at the same time. Project success consists of two separate components, namely project management success and project product success, according to Becker Rennie 1999 edition. So one is the way you are conducting project, and other is the outcome of the project as a product. What is the failure? Please continue your discussion. As we say, the food for thought, you can easily increase the chances of your project succeeding by acquainting yourself with common project pitfalls, or set steps to take to avoid the pitfalls. You must show leadership to your team members by taking time to plan well in time, set crystal clear goals and objective, and collect the adequate resources to be in place before initiating the project. Again, ensuring you have the best talent for your need by taking the advantage of what is the right people for the right job at the right time to make the right decision and deliver the project correctly. Project managers work hard to get the best out of their team and drive project to success. Read the article, Why Project Fail, a guide to identifying and avoiding project failure, and then share your thoughts and ideas in the Week 11 discussion forum. Read the chapter for leadership in project management from both core and the recommended book.